So I'm gonna tell you, I was looking at something Edward Anderson put on one of my videos, and I'm gonna respond to it, but let me speak a little bit to it on this video in this way because it's relevant. A lot of people like Edward don't understand how to be strategic. A lot of people don't understand what strategy is. Okay. Yogi Fish, have you ever been married? Have you ever been married? Are you divorced? You know, Yogi Fish is in the chat room. But going back to the Edward Anderson thing, a lot of people like Edward Anderson don't know when to be strategic. Edward sometimes just blurts stuff out, and he's not, gynocracy. He'll say it 15 times. He'll get a whole bunch of other people to say it. And then 3 years later, what was all that talk for? Because nobody's talking about gynocracy. It comes down to the laws. You got to understand how to be strategic. So, Yogi answered my question. Okay, cool. So, here's what I say to people. When you trying to have a business together, even if you open a Taco Bell, it's strategic who you align yourself with. You should not be aligning yourself with somebody just because they got money. My time in Japan, I learned this. You sit down and talk to a person for weeks, maybe even months, before you actually do business with them because you don't want to be connected to certain people. Relationships are the same way. And when you look at things strategically, the women that black women hate, the women called pick me's, these women are more tolerable. They actually like men. They're not anti male. And in a lot of ways, we have to get an understanding that the pick me is actually the preferred woman for the established man. Now, I'm not talking about in college. I'm not talking about you got a contract job. I'm talking about established. Because the pick me, according to our enemy, the anti males and the women who speak anti male, they don't like the pick me because the pick me's are cooperators. The pick me's, in many ways, you have to screw up a marriage. You have to screw up a marriage with the pick me. It's I've seen so many pick me's, and it's a beautiful thing because they got the right approach. I had to check one of my homeboys in Atlanta. I had to check him about his girl who was all into her family, all into her sons, and the husband he just had to reinvent himself. He just had to reinvent himself. See, pick me is not a bad term to the black manosphere because we are not using words that anti-male speakers hate. We don't. It's not strategic or calculated. If the women who hate black men fear pick-me's and hate pick-me's, the manosphere should love pick-me's and promote pick-me's. That's just warfare. That's just logical. You should want the pick-me's on your team. You should want to invite the pick. There's a lot of women who don't have guy issues. Broccoli says, which is why these pick-me's will be married with the husband. Yeah. And the anti-men crowd don't like that. The anti-male crowd knows that if the pick-me's win, they have nothing. But you got to be an established dude before you take any woman on. And the best one to get is a pick me. I'm looking for a pick me now, a dark skin pick me. I just think that you gotta have this disposable money, 5, 10, 20, 30 G's in the bank, if not 50 G's. All women go left, so there's no perfection. But the pick me woman, her mentality is better than the Akata woman. Her mentality is better than the plantation thinking woman. Because the pick me woman, she's looking at it from the standpoint of, I like being a family girl. I like being his. I like the anti males. They don't want that. They don't want the image of somebody happy. I really believe that pick me's has a racist tone to it. No, it does. It comes from picking any, the same type of thing. You know, uh, pygmy is a tribe close to Guinea, and close to Liberia. So that's a tribe of shorter shorter warriors. But neither here nor there. Virtually everything these Cynthia G type of women do is created by Massa. Massa creates all this stuff, broccoli. You know, the women, the women are really the issue. They help keep these verbal divisions going because they're constantly just take a look at it, broccoli. Virtually everything that is wrong with the black community, the plantation thinkers are attached to it. Children, plantation thinkers, they got the judge to give them custody. Children end up not developed. Children end up not developed. Children end up doing crime. Parent who got granted custody throws the kid out to the street so they can commit more crime. Okay, we don't want to do that. Well, let's look at the plantation thinking woman who talks about colorism all the time, dividing black women amongst black women. Let's go to the swirl community. The now I'm not gonna say that black men don't do it, but it's very low as opposed to the women. The women make whole channels about the nonsense. Uh, let's go with the swirl community. Black women talking about swirls. They just don't go be happy. No, we got to go bash black men. Hey, I saw Chrislyn Carrison working with Cynthia G the other day, talking about how they can destroy black men. It's crazy. It's simply insane. But when it comes to the 20% of the pick me women, we as manospheres dudes, we got to really protect these women because these women are at the forefront of what the anti male speakers hate. That's why I try my best to push that forward. Ooh. Yeah, they talk about colorism, they talk about swirling, they talk about all this stuff, man. It's just a never ending conversation. Never ending. But most guys I know who are established have black wives, not girlfriends, wives. And sometimes people get confused because and I'm gonna ask Yogi Fish this because he be in media a lot. In all my travels, Yogi Fish, I know that there's 20, 10% of guys that don't. But most of the places I've been on a business level, when I see a black dude Most of these black dudes have black wives. Most of the times when I see a black dude with somebody not black, it's a girlfriend. But I will admit there are probably 10% of non-black wives with some of these dudes. But most of these dudes have black wives. From your experience, what have you seen in the wife versus girlfriend department?
What do you mean? What part of the verse is the color or the character of the woman type thing?
No, no, not character, just appearance, color.
Wives tend to be, and I mean,
You
I'm talking about the wives that I think they're doing good. There's a lot of people,
no,
married
no, no,
people,
no, 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 no. My question is like when I go out to events
right?
from New York, Atlanta, when I see black guys who are
Right.
substantial or at least established,
Oh, okay.
I see mostly black wives. But what have you seen?
Oh, yeah. As far as that relationship, yeah, I think the established guy that's secure. At least my definition of established is he's not really worried about
Yeah,
depending on
no,
somebody else.
$500 don't mean nothing to him.
Yeah, he's not at the mercy of somebody else for his establishment. They have a black wife,
Yeah, yeah,
and not just a black color wife, but like she's rooted in a culture type thing.
yeah, yeah.
She's not just black complexion, but she's like most of the ones, the guys I know, their wives tend to have roots in the South, even if they're in New York or a city. Their people come from that kind of culture background, so they're family oriented. They have deep families, that type of thing. So
And Future makes a good point in the chat room. He said most of the IR stuff he's seen has been in urban areas.
what does he mean, IR?
Interracial.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because when you go up the food chain, it's all about connections first and family money second. So if you are a guy here's a sad thing I've seen though, Yogi. Like in the case of Tiger Woods, is when a black dude doesn't know that this other person, I mean, black women aside, okay, that sometime when a black dude doesn't know that this other non-black woman may be marrying you in the Tiger Woods case for access to your money.
Mm-hmm.
And I see these Robert Griffin III type of dudes get taken, and nobody's perfect. I
Right.
mean, but it's just like it doesn't make it better if it's a black woman taking them. But it's like some guys feel like I don't know. I just be like looking like, dude, it's her family against you. You do know that.
And sometimes I think it's because he sees her as a prize from his whole life. Like, I'm dreaming of you one day.
Right.
She sees him as the prize of the moment. She ain't been dreaming about you. You just happen to be the one that came along that she said, okay, I'll take this one. But you're not a lifelong dream. They don't fantasize over, I wish I had that man in my life one day. You just happen to pop up in college or wherever you're going to be in the NFL. I think I'll pick you then.
That's a great point, because let's talk sexuality for a minute. Like one of my polyamorous connections, she's a 44-year-old French woman, and she likes black penis. We play around,
Right.
when she's in town, it's not a factor. But with that said, proving your point, through all my life, I've seen a lot of women, they want to taste chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
They want to keep chocolate around for 2 or 3 years. Get a new chocolate, 2, 3 years.
It's a new flavor, a new improved version.
Yeah. Go mulatto 2, 3 years. And to your point, and I've said this, but I haven't thought about it in years until you just said it. To your point, the black guy is thinking, oh, I'm going to have this white mouth forever.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter which one, long as it's white.
Right.
It's not even a Pacific person Like a black man gets picked by a white woman because of who you are as a black man. A white woman gets picked because she's a white woman.
That's
Susie, Cindy, Jane, whatever, it doesn't matter. You're a white woman. You know, that white woman ain't gonna pick any black man. You know, they don't. Even if they get a black man that's in the hood, he better be selling some crack or something. He just can't be hanging out. You know, he got to be making some income somehow.
Well, even if not the income, you got to give her something that she's not getting in her life.
Yeah, we have a strength that she admires something about you. A black man that pick a white woman because she's white, it's not an admiration. It's purely a mythology that I've got the white prize. You know, I took this from a white. My brother, he likes white women, and his mentality is basically, I got this white woman over a white man. It's like a competition with white men in his mindset.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's terrible.
I would have never thought that. Oh.
That's how most white black guys think when they're with a white woman. Is I got you from a white man. They're in competition with the white man for that white woman.
Boy, stop.
Yeah, you know, this is my brother, so I mean, I love my brother, but I'm like, damn, man.
What state is this guy in?
He's in Wyoming. So he lives in Wyoming. So, and you talk about colorism. You talk about your color being dark. He's darker than you are.
Hold on. Poor guy.
And he's really like, his people are from Arkansas. We have different fathers, but his people from Arkansas, and they're very black people. Like, they're real rooted in culture, love blackness. For some reason, he likes the white woman.
We had this song in California. I forgot how it goes, but the rapper said, "You got stupid dudes killing each other over snow bunnies."
And they are literally bunnies. They're not even smart women, man. I'm like, damn, my brother's smart. And I'm like, that's what you could get any. I mean, he's dated black women too, but he loves white women because they're so easy and simple. Yeah, you know, I'm like, well, damn, man.
But they do it until the age starts to kick in. I hope your brother realizes it, because
he's bright. He's not bright.
when they age, brother,
they crack up, but
it's hard. Just like Asians hate age hard. Now, somebody in the chat, MKM, I don't know what they mean by this. Pick me is with white men. You know what was real sad, Yogi? And it's when black dudes use stuff out of context, which shows they haven't researched things from a warfare standpoint. Meaning that, and it's the same thing I was saying about Edward Anderson earlier before you jumped on. Sometimes people just blurt out stuff. You shouldn't be doing that with a balls and testicles. It should be calculated to the best of your ability. But there are court jesters, there are dukes, there are warlords, and there are kings. And nobody really wants to be a duke, but they will be, because a warlord gets used at the front line every time. His fruits of labor are only coming at the behest of the king or the laziness of the dukes. So what we got now, we got a lot of court jesters with microphones who don't realize, if you get this king killed, you do realize the new emperor is not going to keep you around.
Yeah, he takes out everybody who was following the
everybody.
Previous guy. Takes them all out.
Doesn't matter. Everybody. And sometimes people lose it on that. Let me do this thing. So Future said, as you approach the metro areas and suburbs tend to be the same race. And for some reason, if she light skinned, she don't count. So silly. Let me see. Black men don't want black women. Famous, affluent, wealthy black men date other ethnicities. No. Not from what I've seen, Future. No. I've been around quite a few celebrities. A lot of I think sometimes, and maybe you can correct me, Yogi Fish. Maybe you can correct me, FSG, in the chat room. I used to think that till I found out a lot of guys had girlfriends of other nationalities, or they had escorts that they brought to the party.
Mm-hmm.
But until I started hanging out with some football teams and some basketball teams, and I went to one baseball event for the Atlanta Braves.
Mm-hmm.
Most of their wives are black women,
Right.
the black dudes. Girlfriend. Matter of fact, you guys can look at the team pictures, the family team pictures of most of your teams, and you will be hard pressed to find black dudes standing with non-black women at the highest percentage. You be hard pressed. You can pick any team.
Mm-hmm.
And then what's so crazy is you'll even find some white guys with black chicks. You just don't have a lot of them with. I think everybody has learned from that Tim Duncan philosophy, where you get in there, you have your 4 kids, you think everything good, and then you wake up one day, and this chick just really uses her option. You know, I am white.
Yeah.
I am the woman. I think I'm done.
Yeah. And most of the time, the reason is because they married a person that was not always going to be there.
Right.
You know, like he's
and
putting
now
all his
he's
energy into practicing, and a coach got him under. He's in some sort of controlled situation to where he ain't going to be but so crazy or so in your face all the time because he's obligated to something else most of the time. So she's married a situation, but once he retires, it's like, now I'm your husband 24/7, and you don't even know me like that.
Oh man, same thing happened to my aunt, but they were able to deal with it. But same thing when my uncle stopped doing the longshoreman thing, and actually had to be around the house, the dynamic changed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, when I was my first marriage was different. It was a health issue with that situation, but the second one, it was supposed to have been perfect. And what changed it was that my life got better.
Oh, how dare you! How
yeah,
dare
so I'm saying, like, I got a better job. I was being
oh,
recognized.
you selfish cat.
How dare I not be less than her? You know what I mean? So it was an ego thing, you know.
In our community, it's funny, man. Our community hates black male progress.
Yeah, it was like, I mean, we were doing fine, but she was sort of a social fly, so it was more like people valued her. I was her husband. But as soon as they started valuing me, it was like, wait a minute, they're supposed to be seeing me as the bigger focus, you know. All of a sudden it's like, hey, I saw you, I saw your name, it's like, wait a minute. And then it was like problems arose out of nothing. So it wasn't even like real problem. It was just, hey, this ain't working no more, you know.
Yeah,
but it was that kind of dynamic, you know.
That's why I always say in my wolf teachings, all women go left. Doesn't matter if there's diamonds on the floor. It just doesn't. And unfortunately, dudes got to have their paperwork option. And every week you're together with this woman, you guys need to be maximizing your credit and buying houses, buying property, because that's the only reason that you're together. Women, unfortunately, are 80% of the divorces. They file 80% of the divorces.
I filed a divorce myself on this one.
No, I'm just saying.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying, but I would say, just from my own experience, women are the primary reason for divorce. You know, she's the one that's mad about something all the time, but men are usually like, well, I'll just hang in there. But we don't start the trouble most of the time, you know, that makes the divorce start to be a problem. You know, we're sort of durable. We'll endure, or at the worst, we'll cheat because we can't handle it, but we won't try to get a divorce. We just go get some
Roll with
relief
it.
somewhere else. Yeah,
Mhm.
but women will be the argument starter.
You,
When
you
we
know
ain't gonna start the argument.
that's why people kind of tripped off me when I brought tricking into this space back in 2011.
Hmm.
2011, I started saying no, tricking is good. Oh no, man, you a sucker, you a simp. Actually, I used to be a pimp, so I don't know how
Hmm.
you how you
Well,
equate that, but
yeah, I don't. Some people just found out the word simp and they think they're saying something big time, but
yeah,
it's like most of the people who are the simps are the ones who keep promoting, judging other men like that.
yeah,
Because I'm like, if you really doing your business, what do you care about someone else's business?
right, right. And
You know.
see, when I was telling people that most business people they go get a trick, they go get an escort, call it a wrap, and get back to the money.
Hmm.
And I'm not saying you got to promote it that way, but as an established guy, I'm not stressing somebody's vagina the minute I meet them. And that
Yeah.
throws women off. And so about this title that I put up here, the pick me, most of these pick me women appreciate guys. And I think that's what the anti male speakers hate the most. What are your thoughts?
I think all women want to be loved by a man that they see as a man. It's just the pick me woman appreciates being picked. The other woman feels
Right.
like I'll let you pick me.
Now, here's where I disagree with you about all women. I think that here in America, because again,
Hmm.
I lived overseas for quite a while.
Right.
Um, I believe that the what happened to the black woman when she went to college with the white woman
Hmm.
before voting, I think that that experience got in the black woman's head so much that she uses white people talking points and doesn't even realize it. So I don't think all women want to be loved. I think a lot of women are expecting control to some degree,
Yeah.
but they have to unlearn that teaching because when I ask women all the time, why does it have to be 50-50? Why do you need that? Why do you why? They
Hmm.
can't articulate it. That's how I know somebody's trained them.
Yeah, but I mean, by being loved, it doesn't mean they're gonna love you back. Women like for you to like them and value them and praise them and all that. Love me. Marriage and relationship is you gotta get some give some feelings back. Uh,
But that's why I call it control. I don't call
that's what I'm
that love.
saying. They're not
Yeah.
really relationship oriented. Many times it's spoiled. Like I'm so valuable. You should love me.
Mhm.
But like my ex wife was sort of in that category, and I didn't really notice it because I actually did love her. But not until it was the time to love me back when I'm succeeding that it started being a strain because she was used to being the center of attention.
Right.
So
And, and
that
and
part was a strain part.
and that's why I call it the sisterhood because the sisterhood reinforces that center of attention.
Right.
Some of the girlfriends, some of the gay male friends, they reinforce that, and
Hmm.
it's kind of like I was at the same church of as that Eric Snow
I don't
used
know.
to go to.
I can't remember
Uh,
who that
he
is.
played for Cleveland Cavaliers.
Okay, I guess I don't know who he is.
So Eric Snow, great point guard. He
Hmm.
wrote a great book. The technique that I use today is called How to
Hmm.
Manage Your Manager.
Okay.
Great business book. But here's Eric Snow. He realizes that his money is basically depleting every day he goes into his $1 million house because he's a developing point guard.
Hmm.
So he's with a wife. She's supposed to be all into Christ, so on and so forth. And they were on the first Atlanta Housewives.
Okay, maybe I do know who that is then.
Okay.
Oh.
So what happened is she started letting that sisterhood get in her head. Same
Mm,
thing happened to Dwayne Wade's first wife.
okay.
Started letting that sisterhood get in their head. You can do no wrong.
Hmm.
And it's like they just both of them supposed to be church people, but they forgot all about that church.
So when you said church people, that's what ring the bell. I said, "Oh, okay, I remember that storyline."
And what was so funny is the Dwayne Wade's first wife, she said when she snapped up out of it, she was divorced and all this,
Yeah.
but she had realized she had to go through withdrawal because she was so used to telling valets to park her car a certain place.
Mm, wow.
But the same thing with Eric Snow wife, she was so drowned in that Atlanta housewife thing, man. That dude, man, he left her. She went right back to regular because she wasn't doing nothing.
Yeah.
And it's just a weird thing that women do. That's why I tell all guys, just protect yourself at all costs, man.
Yeah, see that I think men tend to, contrary to popular opinion, men talk about real life emotions more than women. Women will lie to the other woman how wonderful their life is.
Oh yeah.
And where men be like, "Damn, this bitch getting on my nerve." You know what I mean? Well, women like, "Oh, my man did this for me, man. Oh, I got him under control, blah, blah, blah." You know, and just to impress the other woman, where men won't, we don't tend to get together just to fake it. You
Oh no.
know, if it's a
Who,
problem,
who,
we be like, "Damn, man, what I'm supposed to do?" And
who
you
got
you
time?
talk it out, you let it out, type thing. So we tend to get to the point or find out, hey, this ain't the right one sooner than later.
True.
You know, if we're really true and honest being men, type thing, or in the barbershop, you talking real versus dudes who ain't being real, they tend to not come around you anyway. But
Right.
so I mean, a lot of the things I see on the YouTube where guys are talking about women, I'm like, that woman you're talking about ain't really representing the truth of who she is. So you're talking about the fake representative of that woman. You know,
Right.
that real woman, separate of YouTube or however you know her, that's a whole nother person. She ain't presenting the best of who she is or who she really is in character. You know, I've met too many women to know that because I talk a lot and philosophical, they tend to lose a veneer because they're like, who am I fooling with this dude? But you realize they're just a person, you know, that needs to be talked to versus talked to as a pretty woman or as a woman, talk to her as whoever the person she is, you
Right,
know.
right. And that's what a lot of dudes don't understand about being an established man. You don't have to conform to how she's operating.
Mhm.
You get to just do you, and if it don't fit, well, sweetheart, this isn't working.
Yeah, we can be just friends, or I'm a man, you're a woman, but we can just talk and relate. But I don't have to be your man or be in a relationship with you. We'll just be human beings, you
Now,
know.
see, you're better than me. I put acid fire on everything. I'm very serious.
Well, see, I'm older than you, so I'm like, I don't want every one of those women that I talk to be in my personal space like that.
No, no,
You
no.
know?
I said acid fire, meaning that I cut everything off. If there's no
Oh,
vested
I thought you
value,
meant the other way. Okay.
no, no, sir. I pour
Oh,
I pour real acid on everything.
oh, okay.
If it don't work, let's hey, sweetheart. I give you the peace sign as I walk past.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this question. This is a side item. Mookie Blaylock, murder
I
charge.
saw that. I saw that.
Dude, what are you doing?
Oh man. Man, I've met too many people that were big time, and then when I hung with them or met them, I'm like, damn, man, but it's a lot of these people. We see them the way we see them, not the way they are. You know, like I don't know Mookie Blade like from Man in the Moon other than sports, so I can't really. I judge what I saw as a sports person, you know, and it looks like he was doing good there, but the rest of his life, I don't know his rest of his life.
Now, Mr. Wee in the chat room says all women eventually go left. Look at Dr. Dre's wife. She wants 2 million a month. Well, the good thing about whatever it is that she ends up getting, it's only going to be for 2 to 3 years. Uh, unless the laws have changed. How long are they paying alimony now?
I could go on for the lifetime, depending on how long you were married.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, see, it's the way it's set up is that if you were married, I think past 10 years, and it's regarding people that pay alimony, like you're a professional person. If you were with them before they made a certain amount of money, then it's like retirement. That's for the
Oh,
rest of
okay.
you. It's like you were a major part of his life, prime of your life, and he hadn't been that successful when you married him. If most of his income and profits came while you were in marriage, then you in retirement zone type alimony. That's for the rest of your life.
Oh, okay.
And for some of his social security and anything else he's got, retirement plans and all that, you're attached to that stuff.
Well, that's a funny thing because she's not a black woman.
Yeah.
She's like I think she's in
I don't know what
Turkey.
she is.
She's either Turkey or Syrian. I forgot which. But I don't know. Guys, they be tripping me out. I remember when I first met her. She was a lush. She loved that alcohol, boy.
Okay.
She's all into that. She was one of the people just couldn't control. And I'm looking at it from a distance because that's not my circle. I just happen to be there. And I'm like, doesn't he understand how to tap her on the shoulder and calm her down? She ha ha ha. And I'm like,
one of the like Kamala
a
Harris.
lush. That's called a lush.
Okay.
That's what they call a lush.
But was she with Dr. Dre at the time?
Yeah,
or
she was with Dre.
Okay.
Yeah, they was there at the function, but it was like he's very stoic out in public, unless he's around
familiar friends and stuff.
Yeah, because I went to an Eazy-E party years ago before he died, and NWA was there, and then it was just stuff all over the place. But you know how some people look. I want a wolf as a pet, but guess what? I'm gonna have to really be on that darn dog because he's not a dog; he's a wolf.
Right.
And I said, okay, a husky. Okay, same problem. He's a pack animal. They need to know that you leading at all fucking times.
Right.
And that's how I looked at his situation with her. She was already attorney. She was already connected to some money through her family. Yeah, bro, you got to stay on top of this at all times. And if you're not trying to do it like that, I mean, and then Dre's a funny dude, man. Because when he was beating on Miss Chalet, I'm like, to me, I was like, Miss Chalet was a pushover. Number one,
right?
She what 4'10", 4'11", and maybe 5'2" with heels. And back in the days of World Class Wrecking Crew, she was thin. So it's like, dude, you over 6 foot.
And she was an employee, so he had that kind of power control over it too. So I just don't know why he would marry.
No. She became an employee after the fact.
Oh, I thought that's how she was connected with him.
No. They was on World Class Wrecking Crew
together.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought he was producing her or something.
No. What's homeboy's name? He's still in LA. I was on a show with him 2 years ago. The guy that owns World Class Wrecking Crew. So she was the one singing, "Before you turn off the lights, let's get one thing." That wasn't Dre.
Oh, I thought he was producing by then.
No, he didn't produce that.
Oh, okay.
That was the dude for Dre was just a DJ on World Class Wrecking Crew at that time. So that's how they bumped him. He started working for when just after Suge came around. That's when she started working in the office, and then Suge. By that time, they're divorced with a kid, and Suge ended up getting with her right after Dre left Death Row, and he having sex with her and got her running death row.
Hmm.
So that's
Yeah,
how that.
that was all messy. That was that was
Yeah,
messiness.
yeah.
But my thing is like, why do guys who have so much power and demands marry somebody and then try to control them? Go through
Because
all
they
that.
don't have no control in their life. I mean, you got to remember most people who have something going on for themselves had it at a very young age, too much, too fast.
Hmm.
Which is why you see a lot of the white celebrities, they take the slow road. Justin Bieber's probably the only one that was kind of out of control, him and Miley Cyrus.
Yeah,
But
that other girl too. But I mean, but it's like I never understood why. Like I only got married for family reasons. It was never.
right.
It was like I want to start a family, or let's build a future together, and all that kind of stuff. These people don't seem to be getting married for that. They're getting married for some other. Like I got you from to stop other people from possibly having it. Like I own you type thing. You're my property now type thing. And I'm like, why?
Yeah.
All these women you could get, and you pick the one that becomes a hassle. And you have all these women you can be with that would be with you for any reason, not even married. So what's the gain by marrying the difficult woman?
I don't know. I think to me when I look at it based on your question, I look at it. A lot of guys don't have pimp control. They don't have the ability to say no. They don't. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
It takes a real unique. I don't know. That's one of the reasons why I haven't got married yet. I'm.
Have you ever been close to it? Like,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I
oh,
had
okay.
two. I had two fiancées.
What happened that you didn't become married to them?
One of them. Well, I'll just tell you about the one I really adored. The other one, I was happy to get out of it.
You
But
said,
uh, the one I really adored, we would sit down, talk about what needed to be done as a team moving forward. She would make sure I'm doing my half, but then she wasn't doing hers.
hmm,
We can't make that move because when you make that move, then you get me to start thinking about red flags that I've seen along the way. Come
right.
on, don't do that.
Hmm,
So she did it a second time. I said, I tell you what, I don't do three times.
hmm.
I will have these Mexicans here at this door so quick, packing up all this stuff. And she tried it. And I said, okay, I'm out.
Yeah.
But it was good too because within a couple of weeks, she was no, within 30 days, she was with somebody else. And a year later, the dude married her. But like all stupid idiots, he didn't. He's going in trying to be Captain Spiritual Saver Ho.
Oh, I'm going to change you type thing.
Right, but haven't even gotten himself spiritually changed. Like,
Hmm,
it's kind of funny. They're looking at them because I kind of watched them through Facebook through the years
hmm,
just to check it out.
hmm.
But you go. It's kind of like Kobe. You popping all this Christian stuff and but then when God tests you, you fail miserably.
Right. Yeah. That is so true. They
And-
think they're on the God team, and they don't realize they're out here in the field with all the rest of us.
right. And I tell my family, I say, I haven't been to church in years, read the Bible, but I am very steadfast in what the rules are supposed to be,
Hmm.
as opposed to some of y'all who go to church all the time and y'all flip flop these rules. And it's like,
Right.
wow. So with them, she ended up having two daughters by him,
Hmm.
which is all he kind of needed. I mean, all she really needed.
Hmm.
And then next thing you know, they not together. I said, well, there you go.
Yeah. I mean, relationships are a challenge. You know what I mean? And I am relationship oriented, but I'm not marriage oriented anymore per se. You
I
know.
think I think I think people should not do relationships until they hit 30. That's the first thing. And the
Yeah.
second thing is remember this relationship is a business.
Well,
Love
but see, there's different levels of relationship. I think when you're young, you have a distant developing relationship, not a committed for life relationship. You know what I mean? You have a getting to know yourself in in that type
I
of
don't think
thing.
nobody should get in a relationship when you're under 30. You're
So you
supposed to.
shouldn't have a girlfriend or
You don't
yeah,
need
that type.
that. What do you need a girl? Okay. Let me say it this way.
Hmm.
The whole point of a girlfriend would be for the marriage. But to your earlier point, if you're using the girlfriend as just a sexual control factor, or if you're a woman using the boyfriend as just a penis control factor, then
Hmm.
you're not truly in a relationship. Because as a woman making good money, you should be able to go pay $100 for any size or color penis you want. They got
Hmm.
male escorts, but you want a boyfriend. So what's the purpose for the boyfriend if it's not marriage? It's
Well,
just
the first girlfriend I had, we never had sex. You know, what I mean, we were, kissy and all that. We were, teenagers. So
you were still getting a sexual satisfaction even though
right.
you didn't penetrate.
And we lived in our own parents' house. We weren't
Right.
even thinking about marriage or nothing. It was just that sense of I'm
Free
relating to
sexuality.
somebody. Yeah, I have somebody that I can call mine, and she can call me hers. But it wasn't like, oh my God, she's cheating on me. There was nothing to cheat on. You know what I mean? But that relationship helped break you in on developing to bigger relationships. But I think you have to have a relationship type relationship with someone outside your family. And if you're into it, opposite sex, but it's not so much advanced relationship type stuff. But your first relationship shouldn't be this got to be serious, because I think a lot of times young people's first relationship, they get obsessive. They're obsessed with the person, not relating to the person. And so therefore when they do get to a good relationship, they don't know it's good because they've had all this messiness before. So they
That's
haven't developed to advanced relationships. They just go from zero to this is gonna be someone I love forever and all that, that type of thing. They go too high from the beginning. They don't really have experience to be having no deep relationships yet. You know what I mean? So and some people they get older and they're so immature, they still are at the beginning and they could be 30 and 40 years old and they don't really know how to relate to a woman, and so therefore they never had early small relationships, just friendly, hang out, go to the movie. They never had that. They just went from this is my woman, and then as soon as she smiled with some other dude, they're ready to go and get homicidal or something,
mm,
so they don't have maturity into relationships type thing, and the same with women. Some women are waiting for Prince Charming instead of just the guy to take you to the movie. You become too much for them, more for them than you can be. Like, I'm not trying to be your husband. I'm just going to go out with the movie. They're looking for the guy that's going to sweep them off their feet.
well. See, I'm glad y'all do that. I just don't. I go to the nearest orgy, pay my $100, walk
Well,
around.
you're funny with that because you're so free. I knew a dude that was like that. He lived in Fountain Valley, and he was very free about explaining all his business. And I'm like, I don't know if I could do all that, but
Well, I just don't see the point in doing it the other way because the whole heavy petting thing for
hmm.
you young people. That's what we called it back in the day. For all the heavy petting thing, it's just free sexual whatever, and it's like, man, I'm finna
Well,
go to.
so what was your first relationship where you could say this is my girlfriend? Was it
So my
actually your
first
girlfriend?
no, my first relationship was a girl. No, which one? Hold on. Let me slow down. The first relationship was a Filipino girl, and I don't remember how old I was, but I know I was younger than 15.
Hmm.
I had to get away from her
Hmm.
because it was just too nice.
Right.
Her mom was nice, she was nice. I was like, oh hell no. But
Hmm.
we didn't kiss or anything. We would just I just used to always come over her house and that type of thing.
Right.
Then was the Chinese girl. Chinese girl, first one to give me head. Just we was at we it was so funny. We was at like a office building, and she just gave me head on the stairs,
Hmm.
and tried to drop her drawers right then and there. And that's when I found out, I'm not really into Asian chicks. And again, I hadn't even made 15 yet.
Hmm.
Around the time I turned 15, my friend would bring. He had chicks from areas where they was all white people, and they were
Hmm.
the only black girls. And so I think by 15, me and Chris ended up dying. He ended up getting
Hmm.
killed. But Chris brought two girls over, and one was his girl,
Hmm.
and she was pregnant, but not with his child. And one girl had a great body from the neck down, not so much in the face, but she was just nice.
Hmm.
And I just couldn't get hard for her.
Hmm.
And Chris was like, "Well, we'll just switch."
You're crazy.
I'm very serious. Chris was
No,
like,
I mean, the path is the path. But I'm just saying, it's a unique story life that you have.
"Well, it's
LP.
just it just set me up for not caring about sex like that." So
Hmm.
next thing you know, they kind of didn't object, and his girl, the pregnant girl, kind of object, but once I start playing with her, she started getting receptive, and next thing you know, bam.
Hmm.
I say all this to say I think that a lot of guys got to get sexuality out of their system as early as possible.
Hmm.
Because when I look at it from like right now, I'm studying the life of aristocrats and
Hmm.
how aristocrats everything was about their sons,
Hmm.
and the whole point of supremacy is lineage.
Okay.
And they were looking at it like even if I marry a cousin,
Hmm.
I'm keeping the possibility of the male bloodline a certain type of way
Right.
for him to inherit all this land, all this
Hmm.
property. Because a little known fact, people back in the day, and we're talking about the time of the Black Plague,
Hmm.
people back in the time, they did, you either owned land or you worked. But if there was no work, you just existed.
Right.
But you can't exist without paying some landowner or being outside the city. It's one of the
Hmm.
two. So if you're a landowner, that's how the 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 guy was able to get money or stay afloat or what have you. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? He didn't work. So that's how I look at it from the standpoint of an established man. Go get what you need to get. Go do what you need to do. From 15 to 28. But when you hit 29, 30, slow that down and then start evaluating other things. What
Right.
are your thoughts?
No, that's good advice. I mean, different times too. I mean, like if if I was of the same age I was when I got out into the world today, I would proceed differently. But during those times, with the awareness you had and access to options or whatever that you knew about, you proceeded differently. I mean, today there's so many options that I have my choices, but back then you sort of go with what you think or what you can see,
Very
and
true.
so like even with dating, I mean, you dated what was around you. Today people are dating online and traveling places to meet people, and so their options aren't stuck to just the peripheral vision. You can find someone that's looking for you too, y'all may not be in the same space. But back in them days, or not even that far ago, people hooked up with whoever was available to hook up with.
Hmm.
And that was your preference, was availability. Your fantasies didn't go but so far because you're like, that ain't realistic. But now you can go online and meet a woman on some dating service, and that can turn into something because you can see that person's responding to you, or you
Right.
can talk to them, or cell phone long distance. Hell, if you had a long distance relationship, that was expensive. Now you got unlimited cell phone. You can talk all day long. Back then, you talked to her for 5 minutes. That's $10.
True
So
that. True that.
just talking on the phone was a date, was an expense.
Shout out
So,
to Inquisitive Prince. He said Alonzo Williams of World Class Wrecking Crew. Yeah, Alonzo.
oh, that sounds familiar. Yeah.
Lonzo's a cool person to talk to. No, I wasn't talking about Laylaw. Laylaw, he's a cool dude too. Great producer, Laylaw. Jesus Christ, great producer. Just never had nobody really to produce for. But as far as um, tweaking the knobs, his perfection was on the same level as Dre. Just he never had no great songs to do. But
Think about those guys too. Everything was analog,
yeah,
tape.
tape.
So they were better producers than today, because today sampling is easier. Back then, they were literally cutting tape to
Man, I
get
got
that little beat.
I got a controller right now. I hate trying to use um, FL Studio. I said there's got to be somewhere where you can just do a paste plug and play the way you did with tape. If we can just load stuff on and then just place plug and play without having to go in through some of these softwares, oh, it'd be so much.
Yeah, they got new stuff out there. I mean, I do a lot of music.
Yeah, they do, but it's just that you got to try them out, and then some of the price tag. Like I paid like $500 for that. I got a MK55 over there.
Oh, you have the
And
machine.
yeah, I got a controller machine.
Mm.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. What is this?
Are you going to be on much longer? Because I have to
I'm
go.
about to jump off.
Oh, okay, because I got to go pick up something downstairs here.
Yeah, it's an Akai APK 55.
Oh, okay, that's a good system.
Yeah. So it's the newest thing, but I haven't had a chance to touch it. That's the only problem.
Oh, okay. You gotta put some time into it, man. The music is a good thing. Like you say, you have your voice, so you gotta. There's no reason you can't be producing your own stuff right now.
Well, I'm writing a song right now about guys who stand on the corner waiting to die.
Jesus.
And I'm trying to do a rock thing. Wait a minute. This is so funny to me. I gotta address it. There's the guy Killer C in the chat room. And let me make sure I got my moderators. I haven't even did that. There's a guy in the chat room, and he keeps saying this little stuff. Hey Q, we used to sniff coke together and all this, right? Which is funny to me. But I think what was making me laugh is it's an actual MALE with time. But I think what was time to waste making the little comment. I'm surprised Future, you got a wrench. I'm surprised you didn't get rid of this Killer C dude, man. Somebody get rid of that Killer C dude. Use your wrenches, fellas. Y'all got wrenches. Use your wrenches.
Hang on for a second.
Go ahead.
I'll be right back in about 2 minutes.
Uh-huh.
I ask you a question, but I got to go pick up something at the front.
Yeah,
door.
go ahead. Right.
Okay.
Right. So, what's so funny is, man, a lot of times you get these people. I guess with this title, what I'm trying to tell people is, when you get to the part where you're like Future Society of Gentlemen, and your life is just like, in a chill state, you don't want to even be around some of these people. It's I don't know. That's how I look at it, fellas. Nobody killed Killer C yet. Can somebody get rid of Killer C? Yeah, but well, fellas, Yogi's gonna come back, but I feel like I'm falling asleep. So let me go ahead and did anybody get a chance to look at my my appearance on Fox Soul. Did anybody get a chance to look at the appearance on Fox Soul? I'm finna release a clip right now while I'm on this live stream. So you're gonna see a clip premiere of me on Fox Soul, and you guys check that out. I'm falling asleep, so I can't wait for Yogi. All right, you guys, I'm gonna catch you on the next one. I'll get that question from Yogi on the next one. Much love, peace.